The detention cell hummed with the low vibration of energy barriers, casting an eerie blue glow across the metallic walls. Maya sat cross-legged on the cold floor, her auburn hair falling loosely around her shoulders, eyes closed in what appeared to be meditation. To her Kef captors, she looked utterly ordinary, a human female of average height and build, wearing standard Earth Intelligence Corps attire that had seen better days. Commander. Vex studied her through the transparent aluminum barrier, his forearms crossed in contemplation. The Kef were a proud warrior race, standing nearly 8 feet tall with chitinous exoskeletons that gleamed like polished obsidian. Their compound eyes could detect the slightest movement, yet this human remained perfectly still. "She's been like this for 6 hours," reported Lieutenant Nora, her secondary arms adjusting the monitoring equipment. No attempts to escape, no demands for communication with her superiors, just sitting there. Vex's mandibles clicked in frustration. Intelligence reports had indicated that Maya Cross was Earth's most dangerous operative, a master of infiltration, sabotage, and psychological warfare. Yet here she was, captured during what appeared to be a routine reconnaissance mission, showing no signs of the legendary cunning that had made her name whispered in fear across 3 sectors. Perhaps the reports were exaggerated, Nora suggested, though her tone carried uncertainty. Humans are known for their propaganda. The observation struck Vex as peculiar. In his 40 years of military service, he had learned never to underestimate any species, especially humans. They were relatively new to the galactic stage, having achieved faster-than-light travel only 2 centuries ago, yet they had already established themselves as formidable opponents. Their adaptability was legendary, their tactical creativity unmatched by any other known species. Maya's eyes opened slowly, revealing irises of the deepest green. She turned her head toward the observation window with a smile that seemed almost amused. "You're wondering why I'm not trying to escape," she said, her voice carrying clearly through the cell's audio system. Vex stepped closer to the barrier. "The thought had occurred to me." "Because," Maya replied, rising gracefully to her feet, "I'm exactly where I need to be." The simplicity of her statement sent an unexpected chill through Vex's exoskeleton. There was something in her tone, not resignation but patience, the kind of patience that came from absolute certainty. "You were captured during an unauthorized reconnaissance mission in our sovereign territory," Vex said, activating the cell's communication system. "Your government has already disavowed any knowledge of your activities. You're alone, Agent Cross." Maya's smile widened. "Agent Cross, is that what you think I am?" "Intelligence reports confirm your identity. Maya Cross, senior operative of Earth Intelligence Corps, responsible for at least 12 successful infiltration missions against Kef installations." 12? Maya laughed, a sound that was both melodious and somehow unsettling. "Commander. Vex, you've been tracking shadows. Those 12 missions were just practice runs." The casual way she spoke his name, a name she shouldn't have known, made Vex's compound eyes focus sharply. "How do you know my designation?" "I know many things about you, Vex, about your military record, your secret doubts about the Empire's expansion policies, your concerns about the growing human presence in what you consider Kef space." Maya moved closer to the barrier, her movements fluid and confident. "I know about your daughter on Kef Prime, studying xenobiology against your wishes. I know about the recurring nightmares you've had since the Battle of Proxima 7. Every great journey starts with a few brave explorers. Sci-Fi stellar conflict is just beginning, and your support means everything. If you're hungry for HFY battles and tales of human valor against alien might, hit subscribe. It's free, and it helps us bring these front lines to you." The silence in the observation room was deafening. Vex felt his breathing apparatus working harder, his primary hearts racing. The information Maya had just revealed was classified at the highest levels, personal details that existed only in encrypted files within the Empire's most secure databases. "Impossible," Nora whispered, her own forearms trembling slightly. "There's no way a human operative could have accessed that information." Maya pressed her palm against the energy barrier, and for a moment, the blue glow seemed to pulse in rhythm with her heartbeat. "You're thinking too small, both of you. You're operating under the assumption that I'm just another spy, Another enemy agent to be interrogated and eventually executed. But what if I told you that everything you believe about human capabilities, about our role in this galaxy, is fundamentally wrong? Vex found himself leaning forward despite his training. What are you saying? I'm saying that you haven't captured Earth's top spy, Commander. You've captured something far more significant. Maya's eyes seemed to glow with an inner light. And now that I'm here, in the heart of your empire, surrounded by your finest military minds, I can finally begin to show you what humanity is truly capable of. The implications of her words hung in the air like a toxic cloud. Vex realized with growing horror that they might have made a terrible mistake. Maya Cross wasn't behaving like a captured agent. She was behaving like someone who had allowed herself to be captured. Like someone who had been planning this exact scenario from the beginning. The interrogation chamber was a sterile white room designed to break the strongest minds. Holographic displays surrounded Maya as she sat calmly in the restraint chair, her hands folded in her lap. 3 of the Empire's best interrogators had taken shifts trying to crack her psychological defenses, but each had emerged more disturbed than the last. High Inquisitor Kryn stood before her now, his massive frame casting a shadow across the room. The Keth's most skilled mind reader, he possessed psychic abilities that could penetrate the deepest mental barriers. His third eye, located in the center of his forehead, glowed with pulsing energy as he attempted to breach Maya's consciousness. Your defenses are unusual, Kryn admitted, his voice strained with effort. I've never encountered a human mind like yours. Maya tilted her head, studying him with the same casual interest one might show a mildly entertaining pet. That's because you've never encountered a human mind that's been enhanced with technology. Your scientists haven't even theorized yet. Enhancement? Commander Vex leaned forward from his position behind the observation glass. What kind of enhancement? The kind that allows me to process information at quantum speeds, to access databases across the galaxy instantaneously, to coordinate with assets you don't even know exist. Maya's expression remained serene, but her words carried the weight of absolute authority. For instance, I know that your supply lines from the Outer Rim are about to be disrupted. Not by random pirates, as your intelligence reports will claim, but by strategic strikes from human vessels you've never detected. Kryn's psychic probe suddenly recoiled as if burned. Impossible, I sensed. Vast networks, connections spanning star systems. No single mind could maintain such complexity. No single unenhanced mind, Maya corrected. But humans have a talent for transcending limitations. It's what makes us so adaptable, so dangerous, so perfectly suited to rule. The word rule hit the room like a physical blow. Vex felt his exoskeleton tighten with involuntary stress responses. Rule? Humans are barely past their first interstellar century. Your species controls perhaps a dozen systems at most. Maya's laugh was soft but somehow terrible. Oh, Vex, sweet, naive Vex. Do you really believe that? Did you think we would announce our presence with grand fleets and formal declarations of war? Did you think we would repeat the mistakes of every other species that came before us? She stood up, the restraints falling away like water. The energy bonds that should have held her simply weren't there anymore. Vex realized with growing horror that she had never actually been restrained at all. While your empire was conquering through brute force, humans were infiltrating through intelligence and patience. While you were building warships, we were building networks. While you were expanding territory, we were expanding influence. Maya walked toward the observation window, her movements fluid and purposeful. Every major decision your empire has made in the past 50 years, every strategic choice, every technological advancement, all of it guided by human agents, embedded so deeply in your society that you welcome them as friends. Kryn staggered backward, his psychic abilities overwhelmed by the implications. The trade agreements with the Centauri Collective, the military alliance with the Rigel Confederacy, the research partnership with the Vegan Institute, all orchestrated by humans, Maya confirmed. We didn't conquer your neighbors, Kryn. We simply guided them toward cooperation. It's amazing how much easier diplomacy becomes when you can predict every move your opponent will make. Vex's mind raced through decades of military history, seeing patterns that had been invisible before. The strategic leaks that helped us win the war against the Altair Republic. The intelligence that prevented the serious rebellion. The technological innovations that gave us superiority in the Outer Rim campaigns. All gifts from humanity, Maya said, her voice taking on an almost maternal tone. We've been nurturing your empire, shaping it, preparing it for integration into something greater. Integration? Nora's voice cracked with fear. You mean conquest? I mean evolution. Maya turned back to face them, and for a moment, her human features seemed to shift, becoming something both more and less than mortal. The galaxy is vast, complex, filled with species that could destroy each other through ignorance and pride. Someone needs to guide them toward a better future. Someone needs to make the difficult decisions that individual species cannot make for themselves. The room fell silent except for the hum of the life support systems. Vex realized that his perception of reality had been fundamentally altered in the span of minutes. Everything he thought he knew about the balance of power in the galaxy was wrong. You're claiming that humans already control the galaxy, he said slowly. I'm claiming that humans understand the galaxy better than any other species, Maya replied. And understanding, Commander, is the first step toward responsible leadership. She moved to the door, which opened at her approach despite having no authorization codes. I think it's time you met the real Maya Cross. The blast doors of the high-security wing opened with a hiss, revealing a corridor that Vex had never seen before despite his years of service aboard the flagship. The walls were lined with technology that seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal, responding to Maya's presence with patterns of light that pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. This section of your ship was retrofitted 3 years ago, Maya explained, walking confidently down the corridor. Your engineers believed they were installing advanced Keth defensive systems. In reality, they were building a command center for the Terran Galactic Administration. Vex followed, his weapon drawn but feeling increasingly useless. Terran Galactic Administration? The official name for what you might call the human empire. Though empire implies conquest through force, and we found more elegant solutions. Maya paused at a security checkpoint that scanned her with beams of light Vex had never seen before. The TGA has been operating in the shadows for over a century, establishing human colonies in every major system, infiltrating every significant government, and quietly preparing for the day when open leadership becomes necessary. The checkpoint cleared her with a musical chime, and the final doors opened to reveal a chamber that defied comprehension. The room was vast, its walls displaying real-time tactical information from across the galaxy. Holographic projections showed star systems, trade routes, fleet movements, and political developments spanning hundreds of worlds. At the center of it all stood a command throne that seemed to be grown rather than built, its organic curves perfectly suited to human anatomy. The moment Maya approached, the entire room came alive with activity. Screens lit up with reports in dozens of languages, communication arrays activated with the soft hum of quantum entanglement, and somewhere in the distance, Vex could hear the sound of a vast machinery awakening. Your Imperial Majesty, a voice spoke from the air itself, carrying the refined accent of educated humanity. Welcome to Command Center Alpha 7. All systems are operational and awaiting your orders. Maya settled into the throne with the casual grace of someone returning home after a long journey. Thank you, Arya. Status report on current operations. Pacification of the Altair Rebellion is proceeding ahead of schedule. The Centauri Collective has accepted our proposal for technological integration. The Rigel Confederacy is requesting additional military advisors for their border conflicts. And the Keth Empire. The artificial intelligence paused meaningfully. The Keth Empire is about to undergo a significant transition in leadership. Vex felt his legs give out, and he found himself kneeling before the throne. The magnitude of what he was witnessing crashed over him like a physical blow. This wasn't just infiltration. This was coordination on a scale that defied imagination. Imperial Majesty? Nora's voice was barely a whisper. You single quotes re. You're the leader of the humans? Maya's smile was gentle but carried the weight of absolute authority. I am Empress Maya, ruler of the Terran Galactic Administration, sovereign of 437 systems. and guardian of approximately 12 billion human souls scattered across the galaxy. She gestured to the displays around them. I am also the individual responsible for maintaining peace and stability in regions that would otherwise tear themselves apart through warfare and ignorance. But you appeared to be just a spy, Vex. Managed to say, I am a spy, among many other things. How else would I understand the needs and capabilities of the species under my protection? Maya's fingers danced across control surfaces that materialized at her touch. I've spent decades living among different alien races, learning their customs, understanding their fears and aspirations. I've been a trader on Rigel, a scientist on Centauri, a warrior in the Outer Rim conflicts. Each identity taught me something vital about governing a diverse galactic civilization. The displays shifted to show detailed profiles of alien worlds, their governments, their military capabilities, their economic systems. Every piece of information was more detailed than the Keth Empire's own intelligence reports. The remarkable thing about humans, Maya continued, is our ability to adapt and integrate. We don't destroy other cultures, we learn from them, incorporate their strengths, and help them overcome their weaknesses. The Keth Empire's military discipline, the Centauri Collective's technological innovation, the Rigel Confederacy's diplomatic traditions, all of these become part of a greater whole under human guidance. Guidance, Vex repeated. You mean control? I mean leadership, Maya corrected firmly. The kind of leadership that prevents wars before they start, that ensures resources are distributed fairly, that protects developing species from exploitation. The kind of leadership that your empire, with all its strength and honor, could never provide because it lacks the vision to see beyond conquest. She stood from the throne, and the room's display shifted to show real-time views of Keth space. Vex could see human vessels moving through his empire's territory, not as invaders, but as guardians protecting trade routes, mediating disputes, and maintaining the peace that the Keth military had believed it was enforcing. Your capture of me wasn't an accident, Maya said softly. It was an invitation. The TGA has decided that the time for shadows is ending. The galaxy needs to know that humanity is ready to assume open leadership. And if we refuse? Vex asked. Maya's expression grew sad. Then you'll be gently but firmly guided toward a more cooperative attitude. Humanity has learned that forced compliance creates resentment, while voluntary cooperation creates strength. We prefer the latter. The implications were staggering. Vex realized that his entire civilization had been living under human influence for decades without knowing it. Every victory, every advancement, every moment of peace had been a gift from a species they had considered inferior. What happens now? He asked. Maya smiled, and for the first time, it carried genuine warmth. Now, Commander, you help me show the galaxy what humanity can truly accomplish. The command center transformed around them as Maya began to reveal the true scope of human capabilities. With fluid gestures across holographic interfaces, she summoned displays that showed the galaxy as Vex had never seen it before. Every star, system, every trade route, every military installation was mapped in real time, their status updated by invisible networks of human operatives embedded throughout known space. Aria, initiate Protocol 7, Maya commanded, her voice carrying the absolute authority of someone accustomed to being obeyed across star systems. Protocol 7 confirmed, Your Imperial Majesty. Revealing hidden assets throughout Keth space. The displays erupted with new information as thousands of previously invisible signals came online. Vex watched in stunned silence as the true extent of human infiltration became clear. Space stations he had visited countless times were revealed to be human installations. Officers he had served with for decades were identified as TGA operatives. Even his own flagship, the pride of the Keth fleet, was shown to be under human control. This is impossible, Nora whispered, her forearms trembling as she witnessed the systematic dissolution of everything she believed about Keth's superiority. We would have detected infiltration on this scale, would you? Maya's tone was patient, almost educational. Your species excels at military strategy and direct confrontation, but humans excel at adaptation and integration. We didn't infiltrate your empire, we became part of it so thoroughly that you welcomed us as allies. She gestured to a specific display showing personnel records. Captain Rex, your trusted logistics coordinator? Human, Dr. Fem, the medical officer who revolutionized your health protocols? Human, even Admiral Tor, the architect of your recent military successes, has been working under TGA guidance for over a decade. Vex felt his world crumbling. Every tactical advantage, every strategic insight, every moment of military brilliance that had defined his career was revealed to be the result of human manipulation. You've been using us. We've been guiding you, Maya corrected. There's a significant difference. Under human guidance, the Kef Empire has achieved unprecedented prosperity and stability. Your casualty rates in conflicts have dropped by 70%. Your technological advancement has accelerated beyond anything in your species' history. Your citizens enjoy longer, healthier lives than ever before. The display shifted to show comparative statistics spanning decades. The evidence was undeniable. Every metric of civilization had improved dramatically under subtle human influence. But why? Vex asked. Why reveal this now? Maya's expression grew serious. Because the galaxy is approaching a crisis point. The Void Seekers have been detected moving through the outer rim, consuming entire star systems. The quantum plague is spreading through the Andromeda colonies, and deep space monitoring stations have identified signals that suggest something vast and hostile is approaching from beyond the galactic edge. New displays materialized, showing threats that Vex had never heard of, cosmic horrors that dwarfed anything in the nightmares of military strategists. Each threat was analyzed with the kind of detail that suggested human intelligence networks extended far beyond what any single species could achieve. These challenges cannot be faced by individual empires operating in isolation, Maya continued. They require coordination, resources, and tactical capabilities that only unified leadership can provide. The time for gentle guidance has ended. The galaxy needs to know that humanity is ready to assume open responsibility for its defense. And, if we resist? Vex asked, though he already suspected the answer. Maya's smile was sad but resolute. Then you'll discover why humans have earned the nickname, the patient predators, among those who truly understand galactic politics. The display shifted again, showing the true extent of human military capabilities. Fleets that had been hidden throughout the galaxy revealed themselves, their numbers and technological sophistication far beyond anything the Kef Empire could match. Space-based weapons platforms came online, defensive networks spanning entire sectors activated, and manufacturing facilities that had been disguised as civilian installations began producing war material at impossible speeds. The Terran Galactic Administration currently maintains a standing fleet of over 10,000 vessels, Maya said casually. Our manufacturing capacity exceeds that of all other known species combined. Our defensive networks can protect or destroy any target in the galaxy within standard hours. And our intelligence networks, well, you've seen what our intelligence networks can accomplish. Vex stared at the displays, his mind struggling to process the magnitude of human preparation. You could have conquered the galaxy decades ago. Conquest implies taking something by force, Maya replied. But humanity learned long ago that true strength comes from unity, not domination. We've spent centuries building a galactic civilization, where every species contributes according to their strengths and receives according to their needs. The command center's displays shifted to show integrated colonies, where humans and aliens work together, shared research facilities advancing technology beyond what any single species could achieve, and trade networks that had eliminated scarcity throughout human-controlled space. This is what the galaxy can become under human leadership, Maya said. Not conquest, but cooperation. Not domination, but development. Not empire, but evolution. She turned to face Vex directly, her green eyes holding depths that seemed to contain the wisdom of ages. Your empire has a choice, Commander. You can join this vision willingly and help build a future where all species thrive. Or you can resist and discover why patient predators are the most dangerous hunters in the galaxy. The weight of decision hung in the air like a physical presence. Vex realized that this moment would determine not just his own fate, but the future of his entire species. The demonstration had shown him the futility of resistance, but also the potential for something greater than mere survival. "What would you need from us?" he asked quietly. Maya's smile broadened, showing genuine pleasure. "Everything, Commander. Your strength, your honor, your unique perspective on military excellence. Humanity doesn't seek to replace other species, we seek to unite them." The transition from captive to ally happened with the same seamless efficiency that characterized every aspect of human planning. Within hours, Commander Vex found himself standing in the newly revealed command center, wearing the insignia of the Terran Galactic Administration and coordinating the peaceful integration of the Keth Empire into humanity's vast network of allied species. The process was astounding to witness. Across the galaxy, human operatives who had spent decades in deep cover began revealing themselves to their alien colleagues. Rather than the chaos and resistance that Vex had expected, the revelation was met with a mixture of relief and admiration. The mysterious improvements in efficiency, the sudden solutions to intractable problems, the remarkable string of diplomatic successes, all of it finally made sense. "The beauty of patient infiltration," Maya explained as they watched the integration process unfold across dozens of star systems, "is that by the time you reveal yourself, you've already proven your value. We didn't conquer the Keth Empire, we improved it. We didn't destroy your culture, we helped it flourish." Admiral Tor, the legendary Keth military commander, appeared on the main communications screen. The admission that he had been working with human advisors for over a decade had shocked the military hierarchy, but his record of unprecedented victories spoke for itself. "Your Imperial Majesty, the integration of Keth naval forces is proceeding smoothly. Our officers are adapting to TGA protocols with remarkable efficiency." "Excellent, Admiral." "And the civilian response?" "Better than anticipated." The revelation that human guidance was responsible for our recent prosperity has generated significant support for the new arrangement. There are some holdouts, but they're being addressed through the usual diplomatic channels. Vex understood that diplomatic channels now included capabilities that made traditional resistance futile. The depth of human infiltration meant that any organized opposition would be identified and neutralized before it could form. "What about the other empires?" he asked. "Surely they won't all submit as easily as we did." Maya's expression grew thoughtful. "The Rigel Confederacy has already announced their intention to join the TGA as a founding member. The Centauri Collective is requesting a formal alliance treaty. The Outer Rim territories are celebrating the end of the pirate raids that have plagued them for decades." "And the Altair Republic?" "The Altair Republic discovered 3 hours ago that their entire government has been composed of human operatives for the past 20 years. They're currently in the process of adjusting their expectations." The scope of human preparation was breathtaking. Vex realized that every major political development in the galaxy over the past century had been orchestrated by human intelligence. Wars had been prevented, resources had been allocated efficiently, and technological advancement had been guided toward peaceful applications. "Arya, display the current galactic status," Maya commanded. The main screen shifted to show a real-time map of known space. System after system was highlighted in the blue of TGA control or the green of Allied membership. The few remaining red zones of resistance were shrinking by the hour as human operatives revealed themselves and began the process of peaceful integration. 93% of inhabited systems have now acknowledged G authority, the AI reported. The remaining 7% are expected to join within the next standard week. Resistance has been minimal, with most populations expressing gratitude for the prosperity and stability that human guidance has provided. "And the external threats?" Vex asked. Maya's expression grew serious. "The real test begins now. The Void Seekers have accelerated their approach, and our deep space monitoring stations have detected what appear to be scout ships from the hostile intelligence beyond the galactic edge. This is why the galaxy needed unity. What's coming requires resources and coordination that no single species could provide." New displays showed the mobilization of the newly integrated galactic defense forces. The combined fleets of dozens of species were organizing under human coordination, their diverse capabilities integrated into a unified strategy that played to each species' strengths. The Keth Empire's military excellence, the Centauri Collective's technological innovation, the Rigel Confederacy's diplomatic networks, the Outer Rim Territory's knowledge of unconventional warfare, all of it becomes part of a greater whole. Under human leadership, Maya explained, this is what humanity offers the galaxy, not domination, but optimization. Vex watched as the defensive preparations unfolded with mechanical precision. Supply lines that had taken decades to establish were reorganized in hours. Defensive networks that had been considered impossible were brought online through the activation of hidden human installations. Military forces that had been traditional enemies were now coordinating their efforts with the smooth efficiency of a single organism. The galaxy is about to face its greatest challenge, Maya said softly. But for the first time in its history, it faces that challenge united. Every species, every world, every individual working together under human guidance toward a common goal. She turned to face Vex with a smile that carried the weight of absolute confidence. The age of isolated empires is over, Commander. The age of galactic civilization has begun. The displays around them showed the reality of that statement. Across the galaxy, species that had been enemies for millennia were now working together. Technologies that had been hoarded by individual empires were being shared freely. Resources that had been wasted on internal conflicts were being directed toward the common defense. And when the external threats are defeated, Vex asked, then we build something better, Maya replied. A galaxy where every species contributes according to their abilities and receives according to their needs. Where scientific advancement serves the common good rather than individual ambition. Where the patient wisdom of humanity guides the diverse strengths of all species toward a future that none of us could achieve alone. As if summoned by her words, the display showed the first engagement between the United Galactic Forces and the approaching Void Seekers. The battle was swift and decisive, the alien invaders overwhelmed by the coordinated response of dozens of species fighting as one. The galaxy is safe, Arya reported. The external threats have been neutralized. Maya nodded, her expression peaceful. Then let us begin the work of building a civilization worthy of the sacrifices made to protect it. Vex realized that he was witnessing the birth of something unprecedented in galactic history, a truly unified civilization, guided by humanity's unique gift for patience, adaptation, and integration. The Keth Empire had not fallen, it had evolved into something greater than it could ever have become alone. In the end, that was humanity's greatest strength, the ability to see potential where others saw only obstacles, to find unity where others saw only division, and to build bridges where others built walls. The galaxy was no longer a collection of competing empires, it was a single civilization, guided by the patient wisdom of the species that had learned to make strength from diversity. The age of humanity had begun.